There's the party at his house, both inside and, as you see there, outside. And then a celebration is also on at Christopher Columbus High School nearby, where Fernando Mendoza once starred. That's a celebration and a nearby watch party as well. Listen, if there has been a better story in college football history than Indiana in 2025, I have not heard it, and Fernando Mendoza had the starring role. Here he is tonight, finally, the #1 pick in the draft, and he is standing by now with our Taylor McGregor for his initial impressions on being the #1 pick in this draft. Taylor.
Well, thank you so much. In the last 5 months, you have won the Heisman Trophy, a national championship, and now you're the first overall pick in the NFL draft. How have the last 5 months changed your life?
The last 5 months has been such a blessing by God, and I can't thank him enough. I'm just looking forward to get to work, prove at the next level. College was fantastic. I'm so blessed to have that career, but now I step into a great game of the NFL. Look forward to proving and earning it every single day.
You're going to the Las Vegas Raiders. What excites you the most about this opportunity?
What a great organization, great legacy. There's so many great teammates I'm looking forward to talking to, coaches, owners. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. God bless.
And so Fernando Mendoza, the #1 pick in the draft, that's the portion of the evening that we had foreseen. Now let the unexpected begin. Mel Kiper, the New York Jets go on the clock, and pretty much all the conversation has centered around the two defensive ends, David Bailey and Arvell Reese. What are your expectations for the Jets here?
Arvell Reese, I'll tell you what, you look at him physically, he is central casting for a off-ball linebacker, an edge rusher. Can he become Micah Parsons, move outside and get 10 to 15 sacks a year? We don't know that. He has to learn, as he said, how to rush the passer. He didn't have a sack over the final 6 games. He didn't have a forced fumble in his career, but he made a lot of big plays. He's got a ton of talent, off ball or edge. You got the fallback. If he can't become the great edge rusher, he's an off-ball linebacker. With David Bailey, he was a good player at Stanford. He wasn't a great player. He was a phenomenal player at Texas Tech in this one season. He had help around him, but 11 games this year, he had a sack. Now, playing the run, that's going to be something he needs to obviously adjust to in the NFL. You can't be a one-trick pony in the NFL. You can't. You have enough of that with the Jets. Somebody's got to stop the run. He's got to step up if he's the guy. Reese, to me, I had a slightly higher grade on than Bailey for that reason. He is so young. He's 2 years younger, Reese is, than David Bailey. He's 20. He'll be 21 in September. David Bailey is going to be 23 in September. So for me, slight edge to Arvell Reese. I had Sonny Styles slightly ahead of David Bailey as well. But I'll tell you what, you want the guy proven and ready to go off the edge, it's Bailey. If you want the guy that in a year or two, once he learns, can be phenomenal, can be Micah Parsons-like, that's Arvell Reese.
For a team like the New York Jets that hadn't had an interception since I had hair, they need somebody that can rush the passer and make the football come out. I understand what Arvell Reese is, and he may be, the sky's the limit for him, but they need somebody now that can make the ball come out. David Bailey is a proven commodity. We had this conversation a few years ago. Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker? Do you want the ceiling and the potential, or do you want the guy that knows how to get it done and the production of a David Bailey? I'm going to lean toward David Bailey with the 14.5 sacks, Lou.
Look, I mean, the statistics are not in the Jets' favor. You're right. Sack percentage, pressure percentage, they're one of the worst in the NFL. You know what else they were worse in terms of taking the ball away? People who can make plays on the ball, getting absolutely bludgeoned in the middle of the field by running back. They were the worst defense in the NFL as far as linebacker play on the second level. They need both of these guys. The question is, what do they prioritize?
The pick is in. I'll remind you, the Jets have 2 picks in the first round tonight. That will be at number 16, barring a trade, either forward or back. But here they are to make the second pick in the draft as the commissioner makes his way to the microphone where he will announce the New York Jets selection with their fans sitting eagerly and waiting directly in the front.
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
There he is, New York. He's the first Texas Tech player selected in the top 5 in the common draft era, and boy, do the Jets need him. They had only 26 sacks last year, 31st in the NFL, and Bailey was a beast. 14 and a half sacks for a ferocious defense that led the Red Raiders to the 4th seed in the college football playoff, tied for the most sacks in the nation. Bailey was a consensus All-American. He transferred, Mel, after graduating from Stanford.
He did. He had 8 forced fumbles over the last 2 years, 5 in 2024 at Stanford, 3 this past year. He became a dominant edge rusher at Texas Tech. Now, he had some help. Lee Hunter inside, defensive tackle, good player. Had Romello Height on the other side. He had Jacob Rodriguez off ball. He had defensive backs who were transferring in to help that defense. But David Bailey took his game to a new level. As I said, in 11 games, he had a sack. The consistency off the edge was there. He's got to step up against the run. And for the Jets, that's going to be a big factor in whether he is a Pro Bowl caliber player. If you're drafting him number 2, ahead of Reese and ahead of Styles, you got to have that type of ability, Bug. He's got to show that right away.
Well, no doubt. And I think if you look at the Jets, they decided they want somebody that can get it done now. It's nothing against Arbel Reese, but David Bailey has shown you from Stanford to Texas Tech that he can get it done and be an immediate pass rusher in the National Football League. So what is he going to bring to the New York Jets that are going from a 4-3 male to a 3-4? Let's start with something that I love. You have to be able to threaten the offensive tackle with the get off. Can you get off before the tackle moves and the ball is snapped? That gives you an opportunity to get your rush going, and then you dip and rip and you get to the quarterback. That's an easy win. Then can you bend the corner? That requires athletic ability, ankle flexion, dipping the inside shoulder, and then you have to have the burst to get to the quarterback and to finish. And here's the thing that I love. It's an array of moves. Why is he the best pass rusher? Not only can he beat you with speed, here's the spin move. All you need is 2 moves. You need a fastball and a counter Lewis. He's got the speed and the spin. He's the most ready-made rusher for the Jets.
Oh, yeah, and he went up against some pretty darn good tackles as well. He went up against a Honitor at Arizona State, Fano at Utah. And the thing is, he can set the edge against the run. He just needs to do it more consistently.
All right, again, a player the Jets desperately need. They will select again later in this first round. But right now, Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to Laura, who's standing by with David Bailey.
David, you've worked so hard for this, and now you're the first defensive player off the board in the NFL draft. What does it mean to hear your name called this early?
I mean, it's surreal to me, man. This is a great experience. It's just an awesome opportunity, and I'm just so grateful, man. Shout out all the fans that came out here. I'm just happy to be here.
How will you immediately impact this Jets defense?
Man, I just want to get in there and just be a sponge, just soak up everything, just, rely on the vets, rely on the staff to make me the best player I can and, help out this organization, man. I feel like this organization is trending in the right way, so, man, I'm just ready to work.
All right, and David, in the last minute, Topps has made your first pro trading card, so go over there and sign it, okay? Congrats.
Laura, thank you very much. David Bailey is a New York Jet. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, and Adam Schefter is standing by with more. Schefter, go.
The Jets had 26 sacks last year, which was the fewest the team had had since 1999. They were looking for the best pass rusher in this draft, and they felt that was David Bailey. It also helped that they had 3 coaches on staff who were at Stanford when David Bailey was there. Those coaches helped bring a unique insight to the Jets that helped them make the pick that they helped turns around this franchise.
So, Lewis, you were talking about Bailey before we went down to the interview there. Do you believe the Jets got this right? It was a difficult decision, or at least it was one that was much discussed in New York and around them between Bailey and Arbel Reese. In the end, before we move forward to the Cardinals, do you agree with the decision the Jets made?
Yeah, I do, simply because of this. Look, offenses hunt for explosive plays, right? Every offensive coordinator wants to be able to win a game with a guy who can win it on one play. On defense, how do you win games on one play? Either you turn it over or you put a quarterback on its back. Nobody put the quarterback on their back better than David Bailey. So that's where they figure that's a great place to start. Let's get the best pass rusher in the NFL, or rather in college football last year. We project he'll be able to do that in the NFL. He has to earn the right to rush the passer. He's got to take care of person second down. And we've seen with those long arms that he has, he's more than capable of setting the edge. And they're going to demand that so he can then go ahead and do what he does best, which is win games by putting quarterbacks down.
Okay, we told you the cadence is going to be quicker this year, only 8 minutes rather than 10 in between picks. So, Mel, the Arizona Cardinals on the clock now, and as they make their selection, there's been so much speculation about the possibility they go to the running back here. Is this too early for Jeremiah Love to come off the board.
Absolutely not. He's the second best player on my board. He's right there with Fernando Mendoza. What does this team need? They need juice. They need to energize the fan base. They have no identity. It's a bland football team, right? That's the Arizona Cardinals. What is Jeremiah Love? He's much more than a running back. I said you can put 84 on that jersey. Could have been a first-round pick. Slot, wide. He can catch the ball. He had runs of 36 or more yards in 7 games. He had runs of 29 or more yards in 8 games in 2024. He's 20 years of age. He never fumbled. He is a great young man for Arizona. If he were just a running back, he had some fumbling issues and he didn't catch the ball. No way. But to be as multi-dimensional as this kid is, you got to get the offensive line going. You got to get a quarterback in that division with Darnold, Stafford, and Purdy. They got work to do, but this kid is going to automatically get Marvin Harrison to step up a little bit. This kid can play big-time football. The Cardinals is getting a little help.
All right, we will find out if indeed that is the selection that they make. We'd anticipated perhaps a trade up to this spot. Does not appear we've had that. The Cardinals pick is indeed in. The Titans are on the clock, and the commissioner is making his walk to the podium to announce pick number 3. The Arizona Cardinals fans standing in anticipation.
With the 3rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame.
They really did it. We had heard so much speculation over the last few weeks that this would be the selection. And there it is. What a special season Jeremiah Love had for the Irish last year. Over 1,600 yards of total offense and a school record, 21 touchdowns, a unanimous All-American, 3rd of the Heisman, the first Notre Dame player ever to win the Doak Walker Award as the top running back in the nation. And now, Mel, he is the 3rd pick. Lewis, I should say, in the NFL Draft.
Like every single offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, running back coach, head coach wants guys who can win games with one swing. Jeremiah Love is that. He's more than a running back. I know people don't want to believe it, but he's more than a running back. He is a weapon. He is a guy who can create plus 20-yard explosives at the blink of an eye, and you see it right there. Just 2 years ago, we watched Saquon Barkley hoist the Philadelphia Eagles on his back with his ability to create explosives in the run game. That is what Arizona is after. This draft has got some pretty good offensive line depth. They're going to have to go to work. And look, they don't play football till September, but they better fix the offensive line. There's no question about that. But you cannot pass up guys like this. If you told the Arizona Cardinals, hey, we'll give you Christian McCaffrey, we'll give you Bijan Robinson, we'll give you Jahmyr Gibbs, do you think they wouldn't take them right now in a heartbeat? Those guys are difference makers. This kid fits right into that mold. I cannot wait to see him go ahead and infuse that organization with some juice, Mel, like you talked about. That's what he's going to bring.
He's fear factor all the way. And he's going to make defensive coordinators have some restless legs figuring out, okay, where's he going to be? In a backfield slot, or is he